Peace, what up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? This is STS here with another simple review. This is gonna be the final. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it might be the final review for my grandparents, my grandma that I rented. I borrowed some movies last week from the library, which I got a bunch of titles, but some of them I've not been focusing on, and ignore the background noise of these people with the damn construction. There's too many of these movies I've been not very enjoying, or I just don't care for. Like, example, The Purge Anarchy. I fell asleep. I was like, nah. But we're gonna talk about a film I watched this as a kid. I mean, this came out in 1989. I wasn't born yet, but I think in 2003, that's when we have a film video here in Marion. We just got one. I was so excited because it was just right across the block. I used to walk there every day when I saved $1 to borrow a movie. But this movie was up. And I can't watch some movies and family movies. I can't hardly watch back and as an older adult now. But some movies I can. And I'm gonna watch this movie again when my son gets older. Probably when he's like 5 or 6, or even when he's 8. What's going on? But that's shit. That movie is The Wizard with Fred Savage, Jenny Lewis, and I don't even know. Luke Edwards. That's who it was. That's Luke Edwards. This film here is received as a cult classic. This is also the movie that made I'm saying in my notes. This film's also known for being North America's introduction to Super Mario 3. Super Mario Bros. 3, which comes at the later in the movie. So this is the first time you get to see about it, was the movie. As a younger person watching this, I just basically got, because of the cover. Well, this is not the cover. I mean, this is not. Well, the screenshot of the review when you click on it, that's the original cover. This right here, I mean, this is just a new form. But this is the first time I saw it on DVD, and I'm like, you gotta get this film. This is part of a nostalgic moment too, because everyone watching it's so great, and it's also the story. And here it is, the story. It's with Fred Savage. Well, basically begins with a boy, which is Jimmy, played by Luke Edwards, and he's basically a traumatized. I think let's say in the back. He's emotionally disturbed, and he's just walking like in the outskirts of the deserts or wherever. I don't know where he's at. And then a plane come over, and I see him, and then the cop comes, and that's him. And he's like, boy, where you going now? He's like, California. And then the whole damn police officer's like, oh yeah, my wife wants to go there too. So basically, Jimmy wants to go to California. It sets us back to Utah. This is where it's at, I believe. And Jimmy is like, I don't know. I mean, he's emotionally disturbed. He's in like a hospital, like for kids. It's like an institution, or not really an institution. It's just a group home or something. I don't know how it is, but I don't know if he's autistic or whatnot, or he's emotionally disturbed. We are in the film. Well, you just don't know yet, and then you find out more of the story of you see his mom stuff and whatnot, and because he's been doing this for I think he's been doing this for a while. He's been like disappearing, trying to get out. It's all about California. So as the viewer, we're like, well, what's going on here? But sooner we meet Fred Savage's character, and he's so basically he was with his brother, who's a young Christian Slater here, and his dad, Beau Bridges, who's Jeff Bridges' brother, and also shit, God damn it, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't it Lloyd Bridges? Okay, there we go. Yeah, Lloyd Bridges is his dad, as I remember. But he's the dad. Well, supposedly, and then Fred said, like they're having, because basically Slater and Beau are having conflicts. The father and son, because he's doing the son. Like, oh, Slater took my truck again. I'm drinking too. Like, it's like they fighting back and forth. But Fred, his character, I think it's Corey. He says, hey, did you hear about Jimmy? They might put him to institution, But basically, Beau's whatever his dad's name, I forgot. Well, the father character would say, well, him and the mother. So basically, he had a first marriage with him and with Corey and Kristen Slater's character, which I forgot the name. Oh, Nick. Okay, and their son Sam, which my name is Sam. So, but they're half brothers basically. So when he was with Christine, which is Jimmy's mom, that was their half brother. So basically, they're kin. So it means Fred Savage Corey, and Nick's like half brother, And but you look at Sam's character, his dad doesn't give a shit or anything or whatnot. So Corey has a plan up on his sleeves that he has a thing in his room and he throws stuff in the he wants to go to California for some reason, and then he takes him. He gets him. He gets goes into the institution go on, Jimmy, come on. So they get a road trip to California supposedly. They first go into a hostess. They first go to his hostess. The hostess cakes. You know what I'm talking about. They go in that, and once they get to the next area, Jimmy's face is covered with chocolate and whatnot. But I'm trying to do a short version of this because I don't want to do the whole thing because you'll see it in the description or whatnot. Because I really don't like trying to spoil it or whatnot. But they end up going to a bus place. Yeah, they get bus tickets or what? They want to get a bus ticket. They want to get a ticket there, and they say, well, it's $100 something, and so we only got $27. So I think they get them anywhere. But then they had this chick here, who's Jenny Lewis, who is 39 years old this day, and she's still looking good. She's a musician, a nice musician. I haven't listened to her stuff though, but when I watched this as a 13-year-old, I thought she was very hot. She was awesome in this film. But they meet her, and she basically has a store on her own, and he's been playing video games. Jimmy started playing Double Dragon, I think it was, or something. I think it was Double Dragon. He got 50,000 points, and they're like, "He got 50,000 points? Jeez!" They start to realize that he has a gift or something in video games, and that's one thing I like about the film, video games and whatnot. Well, Jenny and them say, he has a gift and stuff, so they end up going around and thinking about, when the games are going to be so, we should bet money on this so we can get to California or whatnot. And example, what they went to, I can't remember. They went to this one place, and then there's these businessmen playing video games, and he's like, oh, look, we can really get these guys out of money. So they go over there and they bet them, and then they get a bunch of money from that. Meanwhile, Christine, the mother of Jimmy, and Sam's ex-wife, she gets this asshole. What the hell's his name? Poonam, I believe? Mr. Bateman. He's basically a bounty hunter for getting kids. And this guy has no unapologetic either. He just wants to get money. He don't give a shit about these kids or nothing. He's a very violent man, and this is a PG movie. And then him and and then also they find out that Sam and Nick, they didn't want to go in there because Mr. Bateman told me, get in my way, and they end up going to go try to find them themselves. They have a damn road trip, Well, then in the film, there's other side story. This is the side stories that not really side stories, just confrontation. Mr. Bateman, he sees Sam and them, and then they're wrecking their cars or jacking his wheels with a knife, popping his tires for not getting anywhere. And then they had a little collision back and forth, wrecking each other's cars. And then the last moment, well, not one of the last moments, Mr. Bateman finds them again, and there's a tow truck behind them. They're not parking or anything, but he gave them $100, or I think $50 it said, but to tow their car. So it was all about it, and you just care for more of them. And also, the developing of the story too is with Sam and Nick. Well, not Sam and Nick. Sam and Nick, and they go to a hotel, and then he basically got when they get the car fixed or whatever and whatnot, he's found his game system, an old Super Nintendo. Or no, it's the Nintendo Entertainment, not it's NES, not the SNES, it's not the SNES. But he's playing Teenage Mutant Turtles, where'd you get that from, Oh, I just fixed it, And then there's a scene in the hotel which I thought was really funny, where they're in their one-bedroom hotel room, and they go to they're playing the game, Oh, you're playing Teenage Mutant Turtles, because he's trying to talk to his dad, because there's a story here. You get more sense of California because he's like, all those times we used to go to California, we used to go every lame, like, tourist trap destination. We went to every one of them. And, so there's one point you got there from the film that he wanted to go to California. But the second, then the movie, when that happened, the video games he's playing, he's got his dad, like, it doesn't take that much intelligence to play that, and then the scene goes up, and then Slater, Sam's asleep, and then he hears, and then he wakes up to see his dad playing Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo games. And he said, had the school weapon. I must be Megaturf, And Sam's like, he's losing his mind. Trying to go back to sleep. So it's pretty cool, the family, the dad and him are, because he's the oldest boy, getting more relaxed and more like caricature because his dad, I think he's more of a selfish person, but as later on in the film he gets more better. But back to them. Key scenes, they find these bullies, and then they find Lucas, which is played by Jackie Vincent, which he is a registered sex offender now these days. And it's kind of, and he's like, I just watch this, like, I get the power glove, like, he's the best player they meet, and he has the power glove, which I never understood the power glove, like, you can move it like this, but only certain games would be able to good for it. And I watched Angry Video Game Nerd, and it's not really up to coffee, but he's playing the race game, yada yada yada. But he's a child. The actor who played him was a sex offender. So who knows whenever that happened? I just know it on the internet. Other than that, he's like, I'm the best player, and he has his little cronies with him. But before they get they meet these boys or whatever, or something like these, and then because they took their money because they won a bet, but then they took it back and whatnot. It was stupid. Then the key scene we got is the movie theater scene. They keep playing. They're getting all these abandoned places they stay at. These kids, they have balls. Jeannie Lewis is, like she says, I'm not scared. She is one hell of a chick, one hell of a woman, one hell of a girl, which I liked as a young boy. Still do. She's 39, so I'm 25. So, but. The thing is that they find out because he's a lunchbox, and they got pissed. And then he's a lunchbox he's been carrying, but then his brother get mad and stuff, and then he knocks it, and then inside the lunchbox is a picture of a girl and him. Then you realize, and then that's when Corey he says Jessica was his half sister. They were twins. Remember, that's our half sister. They were twins. She died. They were in a river, and she got too close, and Jimmy was too scared or afraid he couldn't swim. But she died right in front of him. So there is your backstory of But the thing is, and then also, because of this, the thing is in California memories, but it's all about her. That's just why he's so emotional, distraught, disturbed, and whatnot. It's about his sister Jessica, which you never see that from. You just know at the very start of the film that Sam and Christine, they're divorced or whatnot. But that was wonderful. So it was kind of a tear in the eye because the pictures he saw and stuff. So they ended up believing those boys come back to beat him up, or beat up Corey and take his money. And then you have some little conversation. One of my favorite scenes is when they're in Las Vegas and they're playing arcade games, which they end up calling Nintendo's phone line, hotline, or whatever, and they get all the tips and tricks, and it shows the scenes of the guy, all the binders of how to do this, how to do what. Well, Mr. Bateman's there. He finally arrives there, and then he finds him, and he's going to take Jimmy. And then, what the fuck's her name? What is her name? I keep forgetting the damn name. Yeah, Hailey. Hailey goes up and starts screaming, "Ah! He touched my breast!" And then the whole security guards and whatnot. I think that was great. That's a good way to do it, to get attention. But they finally got him out of the way. But they didn't do anything about it. He came back later in the end. But other than that, the very end, let's just go to the very end, and Wedgie. The very end is the video game championship. That's the reason. Duh, I forgot that. The main reason they're going to the video game championship is to win $50,000. And he ends up meeting up with Lucas and some other nerd chick. They do it. They get in it. Well, actually, they chased him because Mr. Bateman was chasing him around. They actually chased him for the King Kong set. I thought it was Jaws. They went for Jaws 2, but no, it was just the King Kong set. And they went down, so they went and they got it. And it was the first time, which I said, the Super Mario Bros. 3. That was the first time people saw it, was this movie. They played it, and Lucas, he drops 2 lives, but he ends up winning. So he wins the money, and his family's there, you know. Mr. Bateman. Oh, I just did that whole wrong. Never mind. I did that damn wrong. Mr. Bateman is the, Poonam. Never mind. Mr. Bateman is not the bad guy. It's Poonam. Poonam, or what? I can't say his damn name. So there we go. That's a little. I put that. Sorry about that. Poonam, whatever. Pootnam, or whatever his name is. Because Mr. Bateman's the woman. Is the guy with Christine. And that damn dryer is annoying as hell. But Poonam comes in, but he said, "Oh, I got your kid," because he wants to get the money or whatever. He don't give a shit. He just wants money. So he ends up they end up going to this thing, that conference, and they win. And the very end, they go and they're driving around, and Jimmy's got Bateman, with Mr. Bateman, his stepdad or whatever, and then his mom. And then he's in California, and he sees his dinosaurs. So they're pulling over, and then behind them is Corey and Nick and Sam, and they said, "Pull over too, Dad, come on." So they end up pulling over, then Jimmy gets out of the car, and he goes up to these dinosaurs, this tourist attraction. Trap thing. He goes up there, and then Corey went, "Hey," and there's a little curtain thing, and then he opens it, and he realizes it was a heartfelt moment. I got tears in my eyes, you know, and he's there, and he's looking at the pictures and stuff, and then Corey goes up there, and he says, and everybody looked up, and he says, "It's all of us together," and he shows the picture, and it's at the same place. So Sam, Nick, Christine, Corey, Jimmy, and Jessica. And it was all tear-eyed. You see a shot of Christine, tears, and you see a shot of Beau or Sam, whatever. And it was just sad, because then again, it's like, you know, this is what happens with divorce or whatnot. But I don't know. And then, because I don't think he's never talked to Jim that much ever since the whole death either. I mean, because because Christine had full custody, but he says Jimmy, and he hugs him, and he's all teary up and stuff like that. And then Christine says, "Sam, let's get him in the car. We'll talk soon." So and that's how it ends. So it was directed by Todd Holland. Music was here great. I like the soundtrack on here. It's pretty good. I don't know what the songs were much of it. I just like the whole video game premises and stuff like that. I tried to do a good review of this. I mean, I got the laundromat. I got the construction being loud as hell. But the thing is, they go off. So but then they leave us like to a cliffhanger thing. I mean, what would happen? I mean, the thing is, you thought like, well, Jimmy he's had half custody. It was them back and forth, or did Christine and Sam, did they get back together, and did she divorce Mr. Bateman? Or her husband, really? We don't know. I mean, that's just how I thought it was. But the whole Hailey thing, which I forgot before, they ended up going to before for her case, her story was, they went to this place, which was her place, which is basically out of nowhere, just these trailers. And no one's there. She basically lives by herself because her dad's a trucker, I believe, and her mom had a gambling problem or whatnot. So you'll see much of the movie, but altogether, I tried to do the best review I could. I mean, the acting's pretty good. I love Fred. I love Jane Lewis, and I love Luke Edwards. Luke Edwards was a good, nice kid. And Blue Bridges and Christian Slater. But do I recommend this movie? Abso-fucking-lutely. This movie is it's so entertaining. It brings me as a kid, it's a tearjerker at the end, because you look at your real self, and problems like, you don't want divorce to happen. You want to be family together. But I would say The Wizard, 10, but 10 out of 10 because it's a movie I can watch over and over again. And I give it an A plus. And I tell everybody to watch this now. But this is STS with a simple review with noise and me messing up crap. Just remember Puddin, or whatever his name is. He's the bounty hunter, not Mr. Bateman. I should have looked back. So, a bunch of errors I did, but I'm not going to do this again because then I have to remember what I said. But I'm STS. Thumbs up. Thank you, Jen. Whoever watches these videos I do. I just do these at my time, my amusement, or just do to myself. Just say, hey, what's up, Sam? From 20 years ago, from now, or from when I'm 30 or my 50. Look back at these, Say, hey, my 25-year-old watching this video, doing these videos. But thank you once again. Peace.